Council, I think we can get started if you want to join me on the dais.
Good morning and welcome to the City Council meeting. Before Mayor Parker calls the meeting to order, we ask that you please be seated and silence all electronic devices. City Council meetings are conducted for the official business of City Council and to receive input from residents. Members of the public attending meetings shall observe rules of decorum and shall not engage in the conduct that interferes with the ability of those present to observe or to participate in the meeting without disruption or fear of intimidation, threats, or hostility. An individual engaging in disruptive conduct may be removed from the chamber and could be arrested for disruption of a meeting. Speakers who engage in disruptive conduct could have their mic muted and may be removed from the chamber and arrested for disruption of a meeting. Disruptive conduct includes yelling, screaming, clapping, and other noise-creating acts. For those of you who have requested to speak, when your name is called, please come forward to the center podium. The countdown clock is displayed on the left monitor and will indicate how much time is remaining. A bell will sound when you have 30 seconds remaining. Before you begin your comments, please state your name and city of residence. Thank you.
Good morning and welcome to Fort City Council meeting. We are now called to order.
Today's invocation will be by Reverend Joel McAllister from First Christian Methodist Church. Please rise for the invocation and remain standing for the pledges of allegiance.
Amen. Let us now pray. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and let us be glad in it. Dear Lord God, we come before you this day, asking for your continued grace, asking for your loving kindness, asking for your mercy. We thank you, God, for we know that the earth and the heavens were created by you. We thank you for waking us, for starting us on another day's journey, for giving us, oh Heavenly Father, not only access to be able to breathe the breath of life, but giving those here, these elected leaders and officials and all these representatives, with the privilege, the responsibility, as well as the opportunity to care for your people in this city, in this state, in this nation, and in this world. Allow us, oh God, to hear the hearts and the cries and the concerns, as well as the needs of your people. Speak to us, speak through us, use us as vessels for your glory. We thank you, oh God, for what you've already done. We thank you, oh God, for what you're doing right now. We thank you, oh God, for what you have promised to do and will do. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, and lift them up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. We thank you, we praise you, and we seek you because we need you. Through Jesus' name we pray. Amen. United States of America, the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, justice for all.
We will begin with special presentations, and the first one is a presentation of recognition to Marie Love for her longstanding leadership and service with the United Communities Association of South Fort Worth.
All right, good morning, Council. I want to take a time to acknowledge a special person and introduce someone to you as well, to Councilwoman Marie Love. Yeah, I mean, y'all didn't know, yeah, Councilwoman. And so all the things that is approved in District 8, if it's not ran by this beautiful young lady, it's a problem. And I don't know if y'all have ever heard of Eric Mays. This is the female lady, Councilwoman Marie Love. We really want to take the opportunity to really acknowledge Miss Marie Love for her astounding work. What we do in Southeast is a little bit different. We try to be community oriented. And so we have a lot of neighborhood associations. And many years ago, and I think Maria will tell us, they conducted or established United Communities Association of Southeast, which is an association that oversees all the neighborhood associations. And they come together and make sure that the businesses, the development, the homes that come to Southeast Fort Worth is all the same. And so we really wanted the opportunity to really thank you, Ms. Marie Love, for your continued support. And so each year we do a All-Star Award. And this year, for some reason, we wasn't able to give Ms. Marie Love the award. So we wanted to make sure we take time out this morning and honor her for her community impact. All-Star Awards honor our community leader, United Communities Association of South Fort Worth, Miss Marie Love. It is an honor and a privilege to represent you on the Fort Worth City Council. Your dedication and your commitment to this city is well appreciated. Today we honor you and we honor your family in Fort Worth District number 8 for All Stars. Thank you, Miss Marie Love.
Thank you, Councilman Nettles. I appreciate it very much. And thanks to the city leaders of Fort Worth. I've kind of been with the Neighborhood Association since 1973 when I moved in that area. And so I've been a part of that. I've been president and secretary and on the board for many, many years, I think. So it's a privilege to work in my neighborhood. It's a privilege to, I call him all the time and say, okay, we need to do this, we need to do that type thing, going up and down Riverside Drive, you know, in our neighborhood, which is Glencrest Civic League also. But I just want to say thank you. Y'all don't want me to see me crying up here, so let me get through now. Thank you very much.
And we have some other representatives from the new Mitchell Boulevard. If y'all will come up and take some pictures, and her family is here as well. Come up and take a photo with Miss Marie Love.
Next will be a presentation, a recognition for Military Appreciation Month.
If Charlie and Elizabeth would like to join me down here, you'd be welcome to do so. Military Appreciation Month is a time to honor and recognize the dedicated men and women of the U.S. Armed Forces who have selfishly served and protected our nation. It is an opportunity to show gratitude for their sacrifices, their bravery, the unwavering commitment to defending our freedoms. Throughout May, we celebrated our military community, including active duty service members, veterans, and their families, and reaffirm our commitment to supporting them both at home and abroad. We have so many wonderful attendees and organizations here today that are worth reading. Alongside me today are two of our own veterans and actually still serving in the reserves, Councilmember Charlie Larsdorf and Army veteran Elizabeth Beck, are important reminders of how important it is to recognize those that have served our country. And for that, I know this entire council is very grateful for their leadership and service to our nation. Just this year, Fort Worth continues to gain accolades and important notes of established recognition in the aviation and defense capital of Texas, which I think is only because of the heavy military and veteran presence we have. They are real heroes to everyone today. Just yesterday, I was on Instagram scrolling, and a video posted of a friend of mine whose husband came home after over 367 days deployed, came home to his kids. I think those are the memories for me to remember, to recognize those that have served our country. Today in attendance, we have the Air Power Foundation, Big Country Veterans, Carry the Load, Community Learning Center, Cowtown Warriors, Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl, Mesa Springs Help for Heroes Unit, Next Stop Veterans, Naval Air Station Joint Reserve Base Fort Worth, One Tribe Foundation, Texas Veterans Commission, Tarrant County Veterans Council with the Fort Worth Veterans Parade, the Tarrant County Area Food Bank, Veterans in Business Fort Worth, UTA Veterans Business Outreach Center, and Roll Call, just to name a few that are throughout Tarrant County. If each of you don't mind standing for a minute to be recognized, we'll take pictures in a moment. Thank you. They have it? Okay. Just making sure they have the recognition. So I think we're going to take a picture here. Any of the council's welcome to come down and join us as well. And if someone would like to say a few words, you'd be welcome to. I know that Captain Huffstetler is also going to be here for the America 250th. Any of the organizations that would like to speak, you'd be welcome to. Anybody like to be put on the spot? Come on up. Please come on up, Chuck. Great to see you.
From the governor, from Texas's best agency, we want to thank the city of Fort Worth. By the way, if you don't know this, third largest county in veteran population in the state.
Squeeze it a little bit more. I don't think we can. Here we go.
The dog's like, don't forget to get me.
Come on up, please. Introduce yourself first.
My name is Patrick E. Alcorn. I'm the Senior Director of the Veterans Business Outreach Center located at the University of Texas at Arlington. I just want to say thank you, first of all, for this recognition. And I just want to remind everyone in the room that veterans are more than their incapacities of homelessness, mental health issues, physical issues, and all the other challenges that most cities and most organizations celebrate. Veterans are also capacity builders, building the economy in communities where they live and serve as small business owners. And our office is responsible for helping veterans transition to that new service beyond service in the uniform. So veterans are not individuals who have served, there are individuals who continue to serve. And thank you for supporting us as we continue to serve. Thank you.
Yes, come on up, please.
My name's Roland Paquette. I'm with the Tarrant County Veterans Council. And for people who don't know, we put on the Fort Worth Veterans Day Parade. It's an 11-month process. Once we're done with one parade, we take a month off and start it again. But Honorable Parker,
it could not happen without the support of the city of Fort Worth, the police department, and all the other agencies involved. Thank you very much for your support.
I'll give you a warning. If you ride with Councilmember Larsdorf, there's plenty of remarks to other Marines along the parade route for sure. It's always a good time. It is apropos that we're also here to recognize and celebrate the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. And I'm flanked today to my left, represented by Naval Air Station Joint Reserve Base and our very own Captain Huffstetler to receive this recognition. Captain, it's always so great to see you. Thank you for taking time to be here. The United States, as we all know, you've seen these celebrations across the country, is marking its 250th anniversary on July 4th, 2026, commemorating the signing of the United States Declaration of Independence and the nation's founding. Known as the semi-sequential, the milestone celebration of 250 years of American history, democratic ideals, innovation, and cultural achievement, while reflecting on the challenges and progress that have shaped our great nation. We thought it was very important that we take the time today in this chamber before we break in July to recognize and celebrate the 250th anniversary of the United States of America, and we're so pleased to have Captain Huffstetler to help us do that. Captain.
I asked the mayor to dress up in whatever color she wanted to for which service she wanted to represent. So your white and gold looks wonderful, and the Navy appreciates your endorsement. Hey, I do just want to say just a few quick things. One, first and foremost, just to Mayor, to the council members here, I know to raise your right hand and to serve others before yourselves takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of sacrifice. It takes a lot of hard work. So even though I'm sure not everybody in here agrees on every topic that'll come up, just know that that we appreciate your sacrifice and your service, and it means a lot, because if we have ideals that we believe in, then we need to be willing to stand up and fight for them. And so each one of you is doing that, and that same spirit of sacrifice and spirit of servanthood undergirds everything that our military does and everything that we believe in. And this city has been nothing short of phenomenal in supporting our base. As you know, we've been a Naval Air Station for 32 years now, run by the Navy, but we were Carswell Air Force Base well before that, and supporting the World War II effort is really what our foundations were. And so, I would just offer to you, as we look around the room and all the organizations, these folks over my last 3 years as the commanding officer of the base have become great friends. Y'all have become great friends. And it's a community like this that really supports their service members when they deploy for 367 days, when they go into harm's way, when they lose a shipmate, Marine, soldier, airman on the field of battle. You all, this community, is who steps in and supports those families when the time comes. So on behalf of everybody we have here, I got my Command Master Chief Sean Bohannon. If you guys used to raise your hand and say hi to everybody. We've got two of our Sailors of the Year, AT3 Atencio and PS1 OJ. Stand up. You guys smile. And I've got my photographer extraordinaire, MC2 Cunningham, and our public affairs officer, Miss Sandy Owens, over here. So, thanks to all of you for your support. Thanks for what you do. Thanks for believing enough in this nation and what it means, what our foundations were, who we are today, and the belief that tomorrow will be even better. Thank you for serving, and know that it's our honor to continue to serve on y'all's behalf. Thank you. Yeah. Okay.
Do they want to come up? Okay, next up is the mayor recognition for Y'all Means All. As our city continues to grow and thrive, for all its imperfections, its growing pains, and differing viewpoints of our residents, It is our home, and it belongs to everyone. A sense of belonging, of respect, of love for our neighbors, and at the center of all that is our slogan, y'all means all. Today's mayoral recognition is to recognize that all people, all families, all Fort Worthians are truly welcome. All unique backgrounds, experiences, contributions, and people of our city, expanding opportunities for every resident. It is truly essential for Fort Worth's growth, prosperity, and long-term vision to be the most livable and best managed city in the entire country. But you can't do that if you don't also recognize all residents. Our LGBTQ residents and entrepreneurs in Fort Worth are truly vital contributors to our city's success. They are our brothers and our sisters. They deserve to be recognized, and I am so proud to do so today. It is imperative we embrace people of all identities, as was mentioned, if we truly want to be a Fort Worth where everyone is valued and truly free from discrimination. I'm so proud today to have so many wonderful organizations here with me as well. I may ask our leader who helped put today together, Felipe Gutierrez, to come up in a minute. But first, I'm going to read this recognition. If you'd like to join me, if you came this morning for this recognition, you can behind me. Whereas the City of Fort Worth is committed to fostering a community where all residents and visitors are treated with dignity, respect, and fairness. Whereas since 1999, June has been nationally recognized as LGBTQ Pride Month and providing an opportunity to honor its history, resilience, and contributions of individuals and allies throughout the United States. Whereas Fort Worth has grown into one of America's great cities and is now the 10th largest city in the nation with a population exceeding 1 million residents and a regional economy generating hundreds of billions of dollars in economic activity each year. Whereas LGBTQ+ residents, professionals, entrepreneurs, artists, educators, healthcare workers, first responders, public servants, and business leaders play an important role in strengthening Fort Worth's economy, workforce, culture, and quality of life. And whereas the contributions of LGBTQ+ individuals can be found throughout every sector of our community, helping drive innovation, creativity, philanthropy, tourism, small business development, and civic engagement. And whereas as Fort Worth continues to gain national and international recognition and welcomes visitors from around the world, especially today, dealing with and celebrating the 2026 FIFA World Cup and other global opportunities, our city's reputation is strengthened by the diversity of our people and communities who contribute to its success. Whereas Fort Worth Pride Month provides an opportunity to celebrate the diversity and experiences and perspectives to help make Fort Worth a vibrant, welcoming, and economically strong city where y'all truly does mean all. Whereas community organizations, neighborhood partners, cultural institutions, and local businesses continue to create opportunities for connection, celebration, and engagement to enrich the lives of our residents. And sometimes you just turn to those that are much more poetic than myself. It matters not who you love, where you love, why you love, when you love, or how you love. It matters only that you love. Thank you to John Lennon. And at this time, I'll hand this over to Felipe and everyone here.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Council. On behalf, well, I don't speak on behalf of every LGBT resident. You said it doesn't matter where you love, but we do love Fort Worth, and we love loving in Fort Worth. So thank you to all of you for all the work that you put in and making sure that every resident of the city of Fort Worth feels welcome. I also brought Megan Henderson, who's president of Near Southside Inc., and Roger Calderon, who's president of Trinity Pride, also to accept today's recognition along with all of our friends. So I just want to say thank you to all of you, and we're looking forward to a great festival this Saturday. So thank you.
Mayor Parker, Council, I want to just express my deepest appreciation and sincerity in accepting the award on behalf of a community that calls Fort Worth home and is proud to be here in Fort Worth. I want to thank you for your policies of inclusion, and I want invite all of you to come and join us on Saturday for Trinity Pride Fest on South Main Street in the near South Side. The festival kicks off at 6 p.m. and runs till 11 p.m. Many of the business owners in the district, faith communities, and other contributors and partners of the festival will be there on site supporting it. Last year, we had over 7,000 people who attended. It was a wonderful festival, and so you can see how rich and diverse the community is in person if you'd like to join us. Thank you so much for today.
Thank you so much. On behalf of Trinity Pride Fort Worth and the rest of our community, I want to say that it has been such a pleasure working with the city, the police department, the fire department, the Office of Event Emergency Management, OEM, I know OEM, being able to provide a safe and secure space on South Main Street for this festival. And so I want to thank all of you. I do also want to say to our community behind us, I'm so proud of the work that each and every one of you has done to make this community a home for so many people. And thank you to the city also for letting us do that work.
Councilmember Beck's being shy, but she's not going to say anything, but anybody's welcome to join me for a picture. Thank you.
All right, here we go. Look right here. 1, 2, 3. A few more. All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, council, we are in soccer season, football season, but very important that we recognize our own Fort Worth Vaqueros Football Club. Any council members also willing to join me here? I think, Carlos, have you played for them before? Did you try on the field ever? Yeah, not for them. They wouldn't have you. Where are our friends from Vaqueros here? Are they here? Come on down, please. There they are. I think it's important to note Fort Worth would have never been ready to be a part of FIFA this year had it not been for the important groundwork that Vaqueros has made in Fort Worth and the soccer and football scene. So for that, we're incredibly, incredibly thankful. Please allow me to read this recognition. Whereas the Fort Worth Vaqueros Football Club has served the Fort Worth community for more than 13 years as the area's longest running pre-professional soccer club, promoting the growth of soccer while representing the city with integrity, inclusivity, and competitive excellence. Whereas in 2026, the Fort Worth Vaqueros achieved a historic milestone by advancing their men's program into the USL League Two, one of the nation's premier pre-professional soccer leagues, bringing increased regional and national recognition to Fort Worth and the soccer community. And whereas the club continues to demonstrate its commitment to advancing opportunities in women's athletics throughout the Fort Worth Vaqueros, who enter their second season in the Women's Premier Soccer League, WPSL, and provide a platform for female athletes to compete at a high level. And whereas the Fort Worth Vaqueros are dedicated to youth development and community service through their nonprofit academy, which removes financial barriers to participation and provides local youth with access to quality coaching, mentorship, and positive athletic opportunities regardless of socioeconomic background. And whereas through their leadership in men's, women's, and youth soccer, as well as their enduring commitment to service, inclusion, and community engagement, the Fort Worth Vaqueros have made significant contributions to the cultural, athletic, and civic life of Fort Worth and continue to inspire future generations of players and fans. Now, therefore, the City of Fort Worth does hereby recognize and commend the Fort Worth Vaqueros Football Club for outstanding achievements, community impact, and continued dedication to advancing the sport of soccer in Fort Worth, Texas. We're here today with Anthony Harris, the General Manager, Amanda Sheldon, Community Engagement, Tony Marola, Head Coach of the Vaqueros, and Sergio Bernal, Head Coach of the Vaqueros. Anthony and the team, would you welcome to say anything, please?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, City Councilman and office here. I appreciate the time, this moment. We want to say thank you for this moment, this recognition. Everyone knows there's a little tournament going on here in the community, and we're so excited to have it here in our city and close by. But on behalf of Amanda Sheldon in our front office, Sergio Bernal, our women's head coach, Tony Marola, our men's head coach, we just want to say thank you as being one of Fort Worth's longest running sports franchises. Over 12 years, we've been in the community. I personally sign up for as many career days as I can, and I'm sure I've done a career day in every single one of your districts. But I appreciate your work in the city and everything you do for our communities and supporting the sport. So thank you. Thank you.
Anybody else want to say anything? No? You want to say anything? Yeah, of course, please, come up. No, No, please do.
As a Welshman, not Englishman, I'd like to say, go USA. Not England.
Not England.
Next will be items to be continued or withdrawn.
We have a few items to be continued or withdrawn. Removed from the consent agenda is MNC 26-0529, MNC 26-0525, and MNC 26-0539, so that council members can either vote separately, recuse, or make a substitute motion or an amended motion. MNCs to be withdrawn completely are MNC 26-0543 and MNC 26-0549, along with zoning case 26 no, sorry, those are the two that are be withdrawn. Now, two zoning cases will be continued. ZC 26-062 to the August 11th meeting, and ZC 26-41 to the August 25th meeting.
Thank you, Jay. Jen, I think we can proceed with consent. And then we
Let's
have
do the consent speakers, Mayor.
Thank you. Our first speaker is Adrian Smith, followed by Letitia Wilburn.
Adrian Smith, District 6I and 1 with the people. West 7th Bridge lighting improvements. This is Mayor and Council Communication 26-0520. West 7 Entertainment District, one of Fort Worth's pride and joy for all things Fort Worth. Area, there is no limits for what is spent, irregardless of cost to we, the taxpayers. What you have is form over substance. Questions. Who came up with this proposal? Who or what are they connected to? Are we trying to put on a light show for people to be in awe about? Are we trying to improve overall safety? If you're seeking to distract people, then the interchange of lights is the go-to. But if you're seeking to improve safety, then a standard set of lighting that illuminates every aspect of the bridge without distraction should be priority. This doesn't rise to the level of putting lipstick on a pig, but it is hanging a diamond necklace around the neck of a mural. Which is going to win, show or utility? And the current price tag for this project is $2,141,825.84. The previous price tag, which is just 2.5 years ago, Mayor Parker, is $2,500,000, bringing us to a total of $4,641,825, and don't let me forget the cent, 84 cents to taxpayers. Now, what are we doing here? The Fort Worth Report did an article regarding the 7th Street Bridge. Seems like you all are throwing taxpayer money into a light show that doesn't benefit any of us. It's just costing us. So it says, Fort Worth's West 7th Bridge, and I quote, Fort Worth's West 7th Bridge has become iconic, The bridge is often depicted in foreground on promotional materials for the city, including website banners. In many of those images, the bridge is lit up, mirroring the neighbor former Pier 1 Imports building, soon to be Fort Worth's new city hall. However, keeping the lights working has been a challenge, said Clint Hoover, a transportation engineer manager with the city. The current state of affairs is that the lighting is very labor intensive and very expensive to keep up with. Mayor Parker, we need standard lights to fix this problem, not interchanging lights that's costing us millions of dollars.
Lauren Prier, our Transportation Public Works Director, I might just have you speak about this item, just in the effort of transparency and less confusion. Thank you.
Sure, and just to clarify, the original budget was set at $2.5 million, and so this contract is for roughly $2.1 million, so it's not additive, it is $2.1 million. And so this is essentially a design-build contract, not a low bid, primarily because of the specialty nature of this lighting. This is a preformed bridge, so we have to be very careful about how we cut and add lighting fixtures to this bridge. It's not as simple as remove and replace.
Thank you very much, Lauren. We appreciate it. Our next speaker is Letitia Wilburn. I don't see her. Sorry, Jeanette, is this all?
That's it for consent speakers?
That's it, okay. So, thank you. Okay, that's all for consent. We can go vote to a consent agenda. Motion and a second, please vote. Motion carries.
Next will be MNC 26-0525, which was pulled from consent. That's the Kent East fee increase.
Thank you. Council, I can entertain a motion. Motion and a second. Council, please vote. I don't think we have any vote buttons yet. Motion carries.
Next is MNC 26-0529, which is the Brown Ranch Hines Development Agreement.
Thank you. I think we have an amendment on the floor. Is that correct? Thank you. Councilmember Crane.
Yes, Mayor. Before I introduce this motion, where's Dana Bergdorf? Would you mind coming up for just a second? I want to say, as you're coming up, thanks to the hours and hours of work spent on putting this development agreement together. I do see Thad and Austin out there as representing this. There's been a shift of us before not allowing MUDs or moving away from MUDs and going to a capital PID. This is a MUD, a municipal utility district. Will you tell us why we're shifting back and why this is important to be done?
Certainly. Thank you, Councilmember Crane. Dana Bergdorf, Assistant City Manager. So over the last couple of state legislative sessions, municipal authority has been reduced or removed with regard to our ability to address planning within our extraterritorial jurisdiction or to retain our extraterritorial jurisdiction. And so property owners now have the right to withdraw from our extraterritorial jurisdiction and still work with the Public Utility Commission to obtain water and sewer services from the city, as well as to have the Public Utility Commission create special districts without our consent. And so we thought it best to come to the table with the Brown Ranch property owner and the developer This is an area that we've had identified within our comprehensive plan as a planned service area, an area where we intended to provide water and sewer services as well as other general city services within the next several years. And so because it's an area we've been planning for, it's actually closer in some ways to our city limits than some parts of Walsh Ranch, right? Walsh Ranch is sort of south and west of Brown. And so this is an area that was logical for the city of Fort Worth to serve. So one of the things that coming to the table did for us is give us the ability to negotiate additional improvements that might not otherwise be required through our subdivision ordinance, if it were to still apply, or through our rough proportionality requirements under state law. And so we were able to negotiate additional off-site, particularly roadway improvements that would exceed the rough proportionality requirement. So for example, they're able to improve Walsh Ranch Parkway off-site south to where it currently terminates, just south of Old Weatherford Road. They're able to improve Walsh Ranch Parkway north of the district up to White Settlement Road. Similarly, West Point Boulevard east of Brown Ranch to where it terminates, and potentially improvements to Old Weatherford Road itself east of Walsh Ranch Parkway. So those are some additional negotiating terms that we were able to obtain. Also, they've agreed to comply with our park dedication policy, which doesn't typically apply or isn't legally allowed to apply within our ETJ. They're dedicating floodplain for open space. And so there's a number of concessions that they've been willing to work with us. So we've tried to have it be a win-win for us, as well as then, as you've alluded to, some of the hours that we've spent trying to work with neighboring ranch owners, property owners, with respect to how the roadways will flow through those properties and where future intersections will be located to try to reach a good outcome for everyone.
Yeah, one of the road improvements you talked about was instead of a 2-lane, which we require a 4-lane.
Correct.
As part of that. We've talked a lot too, and I will say this, of playing catch up in the north, and I've been pretty vocal that we're not going to do that in the west side of Fort Worth. We're spending hundreds of millions of dollars trying to keep up or retroactively go back and build roads in the north part of Fort Worth. But here, I think we're being proactive in building that. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. And the other piece I'll point out is the other thing we've been able to do is they've agreed to charge a $1 tax rate, property tax rate or assessment per $100 of valuation. And so obviously that will change over time as they pay off some of their debt. But having that higher tax rate then actually assists us in the future if we choose to annex the property once the debt is paid off and the special district is no longer needed. So that's something that helps us with working with those property owners and residents in the future.
Perfect. I just wanted to put that all on the record so when we get flooded by developers thinking that we're already, that MUDs are the thing now, I think clarification of those rules will be important for everybody moving forward.
Yes.
Thank you.
And we also they don't have eminent domain authority, so we retain that for offsite.
That's great for us too. Okay, I have this motion. I move to approve M&C 260529 with the following amendments. Add a master roadway network alignment exhibit to the M&C, a copy of which is on file with the city secretary, and direct city staff bring forth an amendment to the master roadway network that is generally consistent with the attached alignment.
Next item will be MNC 26-0539, which is the CCPD Emerging Partners Grants.
That's okay. With regards to MNC 260539, I'm going to recuse myself due to my participation on the executive board for United Way.
Second.
Motion and a second, council, please vote. Motion carries.
Next will be announcements by city council members.
Thank you. Councilmember Flores.
Thanks, Mayor. Slides up, please. We have 2 today. All right, reading left to right. Myself, CM Martinez and CM Hill attended attended the Breakfast with Champions at Billy Bob's, Texas, along with other supporters, and we enjoyed a morning of learning, inspiration, what networking can do to make a difference in the lives of these participants in Special Olympics. So they're all athletes in the true spirit of the word. Center of the slide, I was honored to recognize the North Fort Worth Historical Society as it celebrated its 50th anniversary. Quite a milestone. They were established in 1976, and they continue to work to preserve, protect, and promote the rich history of North Texas and the stockyards. On the right, we hosted the Croatian Minister of Justice, Habijan, and his delegation in the stockyards, of course, came in for FIFA, since FIFA is here. And they viewed lots of the sites, historic sites in the stockyards, went into the Coliseum, ate at Cattleman's, enjoyed the Fort Worth herd immensely. So very great, optimistic, and wonderful feedback, from their visit here in Fort Worth. Next slide. Many of us participated in Opal Lee's annual Walk for Freedom. She unfortunately could not join us, but she was there in spirit. So just very honored to continue that tradition, walking in unity to honor Juneteenth and the continued strive for freedom, unity, and resilience. In the center, attended the LULAC National Convention, their presidential awards to hear Latino leaders present about what's going on in local, state, and national politics. I know that our city manager was there along with Councilmember Martinez as well. So my thanks to Visita Fort Worth and the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce for making that happen. And last, we have the Far Greater Northside Historical Neighborhood Association, who held their Juneteenth celebration in Lincoln Park on Saturday. So appreciation to Sharon Warren. She took a lot of that burden to get all the logistics set up and make that happen. Thanks to the Parks Department, food vendors, volunteers, Fort Worth Fire Department, Fort Worth Police Department, Code Blue, City of Fort Worth Communications Engagement were also there. Net Landeros from Trinity Metro popped in, and Crime Prevention Specialist Doc Kent. And that is all I have, Mayor.
Chris, Councilmember Nettles. Sorry.
Thank you. On the first slide, I had an opportunity to go to Mount Olive Missionary Baptist Church to be a guest speaker for the Peace Over Problems Team Conflict Resolution Leadership Training. It was great to see those young people actively working to solve problems here in the city of Fort Worth. Next slide, please. This is a walkthrough for Renaissance Heights Phase 3. Applications open up in July. This is the third phase of Columbia Renaissance that's happening in East Fort Worth, Southeast Fort Worth, behind the Walmart. Looking forward for the final phase with the homes being built. Next slide, please. Juneteenth press conference at Bob Bolin with Dr. Opal Lee, with some other community leaders, with Chief Garcia. Had opportunity to talk about the importance and why we support Juneteenth here in the city of Fort Worth. Next slide. All right, the Juneteenth walk, Opal Walk for Freedom. Had the opportunity to do the opening prayer and later on speak on behalf of Mayor Parker to thank all of the walkers for participating in the Walk for Freedom. Trinity Metro participated, Miss Juneteenth, and so many others, as well as my council members. Next slide, please. Juneteenth Soul of Sycamore. This year I did not participate in the food contest, but I did participate in all the other things. We have our young cadets, I believe. They also did a slide together. A cha-cha slide. So it was good to see them moving, doing the moves and grooving, celebrating Juneteenth. Those are my final slides. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Councilmember Beck.
Real quick, you saw us recognize the Osprey Bass Angler Foundation at the last council meeting, and we had the opportunity to attend that event. You can see that they were catching plenty of fish there that day. That young man won a special prize because his fish was special tagged. I don't think anyone caught the albino fish that they put in there. So if you want to head out to Greenbrier Park and do a little fishing, you might catch a surprise. Next slide. Had the opportunity to join my colleagues and the community in the Miss Opal Lee's Walk. Next slide. Okay, coming up, Seminary Neighborhood is part of our neighborhood improvement program, and we have a meeting coming up at the community center. So I'm sorry, I can't, June 25th. So I hope that you'll join us out there from 11 to 12 to talk about the improvements to the community center as part of that neighborhood improvement project. Next slide. It is the summer of soccer. If you hadn't heard, there's a game going on in Arlington, and even when there's not a game in Arlington, Sundance Square is broadcasting live all of the FIFA games. So if you are looking for a place to watch a game and celebrate with your community, Sundance Square is really knocking it out of the park. They typically have entertainment that coincides with the teams that are playing in those games. So I'd recommend you head on out there if you're looking for a place to sweat and watch soccer. Next slide. Last but not least, you heard people mention Trinity Pride Fest coming up this weekend. It is from 6 to 11. If you are interested in participating in the short march that they have at the beginning of Pride Fest, a lineup starts at 5:45 at the corner of Broadway and South Houston. And those are all the comments I have.
Thank you, Councilmember Beck. Councilmember Martinez.
Thank you, Mayor. Just have a few slides. Next slide, please. I want to start by thanking my team, Rachel and Natalie, for stepping in for me this weekend as I was called away for a family funeral. The girls attended the Juneteenth parade and celebration this past Saturday, June 20th at Sycamore Park. District 11 staff celebrated Juneteenth by participating in the parade and hung out with Fort Worth PD and Code Blue at the Cops versus Community Barbecue Cook-Off. Congrats to Cliff Sparks and everybody that was involved in the planning on another successful event. Next slide. District 11 also was able to participate in another Juneteenth event at the MLK Community Center. We received a request from a resident, Henry Thomas, who puts on this event every year, and so we were happy to support him by donating fans, snacks, juice, and water for the seniors that are a part of this event. I also had the opportunity to read at Freedom School at True Vine Missionary Baptist Church on June 16th. It was a wonderful experience, and I want to thank Miss Loretta Burns with AB Christian Academy for the invitation. It's always fun to go out there and read to the kids and just listen to the music. They're a wonderful group. Next slide. District 11 has one improvement program coming up in Riverside. So on June 30th, 6 p.m., this is going to be a virtual meeting. This meeting is to update residents on upcoming construction related to the installation of a 36-inch water main on Northside Drive from, well, this one's not on Northside Drive because that's Northside, from Booker Street to Springdale Road. And so there is a project page, and this is also posted on the different social media platforms and the District 11 webpage. That is all.
Mayor and Council, there are no non-consent agenda speakers that are not public hearing or zoning.
Thank you.
So our next item will be CP-338 from District 9.
Now, am I correct? We're going to take all three of these CPs to waive the rules at one time, and then we'll vote on each one individually. Is that correct, Leanne? Okay. So, Council, all we're doing this first vote is just to waive the rules for us to actually be able to consider these CPs today, and then we'll vote on them each individually. So I can entertain a motion. Got a motion and a second. Council, please vote. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Motion carries.
Mayor, do you want to move to the next ones until Councilmember Beck comes back?
Repeat that.
Would you like to go to 339 and then come back to 338 when Councilmember Beck returns?
I think she'll be okay. Yeah.
Move to approve.
A motion and a second, please vote. On the record that Councilmember Beck is very supportive of this waiver of park fees. Motion carries.
Next is CP-339 from District 8.
Motion and a second, please vote. Motion carries.
Next is CP-340 from District 6.
Motion and a second, council. Please vote. Motion carries.
Next is 26-6044, board appointments from District 2.
Councilmember Flores.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor and council request your consideration to appoint the following individual to the respective board with a partial term effective June 23rd, 2026 and ending October 1st, 2026. Jacqueline Auger, Community Development Council.
A motion and a second, council. Please vote. Motion carries.
Next is 26-6047, board appointments from District 10.
Councilmember Jamison.
Yeah, I request your consideration to appoint the following individual to the respective board with a partial term effective June 23rd, 2026 and ending October 1st, 2026. Felix Garcia for Park and Recreation Advisory Board.
Motion and a second. Please vote. Motion carries.
Next is 26-6045.
Motion and a second. Please vote. Motion carries.
Next is 26-6046.
Motion and a second, council. Please vote. Motion carries.
Next is 26-6048.
Motion and a second. Please vote. Motion carries.
Next is 26-6049.
Move to approve.
Motion and a second. You're too enthusiastic, Carlos.
Just a bit.
Motion carries.
Next is MNC 26-0422.
Motion and a second. We would like to rename Animal Pancakes Roadway, please. Motion carries.
Next will be MNC 26-0550, and there are no speakers on this item, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Hall. Motion and a second, council. Please vote. Motion carries.
Next will be MNC 26-0551.
Thank you. And we do have one speaker on this item who's available for questions if there are any. Councilmember Crane, Carl Crawley. Calling you first. Motion a second. Please vote. Motion carries.
Council, next we're going to take the companion zoning case for that public hearing, which is ZC-26-044.
Motion and a second. Please vote. Motion carries.
Next is MNC 26-0552.
Move to approve.
Motion and a second, council. Please vote. Motion carries.
Next is MNC 26-0553.
Councilmember Jamison, we have one speaker, but only if there's questions or opposition. To my knowledge, there is none. Can you hear me? Oh, he did. He just couldn't hear. Okay. Motion to approve. And I'm going to take a second. A motion and a second. Council, please vote. Motion carries.
Next, we will take the companion zoning case, which is ZC 26-043.
Anybody want to make a motion?
Move to.
Thank you.
Move to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion and a second. Please vote. Motion carries.
Next is MNC 26-0554.
Councilmember Crane, we have one speaker, Travis Clegg, only if there's opposition. Motion and a second. Please vote. Motion carries.
Next, we will take the companion zoning case, which is ZC-26-042.
Councilmember Crane. Again, there we go.
Got it. Just want to make sure it's clear. We annexed the property in, and now this is the actual rezoning or the zoning of the property. And I want to read this into the record so it's clear to everyone for posterity. This zoning will change it, and it will exclude A5 one-family residential development, permanent asphalt or concrete batch plant, and data centers. So thank you, Travis Clegg, for stirring it up a little bit, but then also calming it down. That was removed at zoning, and I just want to make it clear that we will be upholding what the zoning commission put in place, that there will not be a data center on this property.
Got a motion? Motion and a second. Please vote. Motion carries.
Just as a note, ZC 26-41 was continued to August 25th. That gets us to SP-26-008.
Councilmember Martinez, we have two speakers on this item. The first is Jacob Petrie, and the second is Adrian Smith. Hold on. Is Jacob here? Oh, sorry, Jacob, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I do want to make note that I plan to continue this case to August 11th council meeting. I just want to give the community another opportunity to review the site plan because I know there were some concerns. And so we'll be organizing a meeting and inviting yourself and the neighborhood associations in the surrounding area to really discuss what it is and just, you know, lay out that the car wash part of it would not be included.
Thank you. Got a motion to continue? Second. Motion and a second. Please vote. We're continuing the case, Adrian. What was as August 11th? Is that correct, Councilman Martinez? Yes. Okay, thank you.
I don't get to speak, even though you.
No, we're continuing the case. We're not voting on it today. We're just going to continue it to August 11th.
On it, I would like to speak to it. Something in the record.
I would encourage you to reach out to Councilman Martinez's office with any concerns or on the zoning case.
Next will be ZC-26-0227 or 022.
Councilmember Hill.
Thank you. And I understand that property purchaser wants to remove the case from zoning, but because of the location next to the Fort Worth Nature Center, I want to deny with prejudice to protect the Nature Center and the environmental concerns around it.
Motion and a second. Please vote. Motion carries.
Next is ZC-26-055.
Councilmember Hill, we have one speaker. To my knowledge, there is no opposition.
I'm good, Mary Nell. I move to approve.
Motion and a second, please vote. Motion carries.
Next is ZC-26-06-061.
Councilmember Nettles, we have one speaker on this item, Anthony Milbitz.
Anthony Milbitz representing Teague Nolan Perkins, the applicant on the project. I'm just really here for any questions y'all might have.
Thank you. Councilmember Nettles.
Move to approve.
Motion and a second, council, please vote. Motion carries.
Next, ZC-26-062 was continued to August 11th. Next is ZC-26-063.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, council, please vote. Motion carries.
Next is ZC-26-065.
Councilmember Beck.
Second.
Okay, no problem. Councilmember Hall first. Try it again one more time, Mia. There we go.
All right. Mayor and Council, I need to recuse myself from ZC 26065 due to my employment with Fort Worth ISD.
Got a motion and a second. Please vote. Motion carries.
Next is ZC-26-067.
Councilmember Hall.
I will also be recusing myself from ZC 26067 due to my employment with Fort Worth ISD.
Motion and a second. Nope. Councilmember Beck.
Move to approve.
Motion and a second by Councilmember Crane or Nettles. Thank you. Please vote. Motion carries.
Next is ZC-26-076.
Councilmember Flores.
Before I give my motion, I just want to say I remain excited about this project, very supportive of it. I don't know if someone from the developer is here today. Great. Reggie, can you come on up? I just have one question to ask you.
Yes, sir.
All right, this is an option for you, but in addition to the historic designations that we've been talking about that you're pursuing, do you plan also to apply for the local historic tax exemption?
Yes.
Okay, good. Good to hear. All right. With that, move to approve.
Got a motion and a second, council. Please vote. Motion carries.
Mayor, that concludes all of the action items and gets us to public comment.
Thank you. Our first speaker is Chris Wood, followed by Kevin Carlson.
I'm Chris Wood from Willow Park. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. I'm here today because too many women are taught that being polite matters more than being safe. Too many are taught to stay quiet, stay agreeable, stay composed, even when they are frightened and being mistreated. Women are often taught to protect other people's comfort before their own well-being. They are told not to make a scene, not to be too loud, not to be too angry. But in moments of danger, abuse, or intimidation, those lessons can become deadly. Politeness should never be expected at the expense of survival. Women need to hear that protecting themselves is not rude. Setting a boundary is not disrespectful. Raising your voice when you are afraid is not a failure of character. It is self-preservation. It is what people do when they are trying to stay safe. When women are pressured to smile through fear, minimize harassment, or keep peace during mistreatment, the damage does not end in that moment. It can leave lasting fear, shame, anxiety, and isolation. It can make someone question their instincts and hesitate to ask for help when they need it most. No one should be conditioned to endure harm just to appear pleasant. Please continue strengthening support for victims and people in unsafe situations. The Fort Worth Police Victim Assistance Section already provides critical help, but more people need to know these services exist before fear turns into crisis. Please expand outreach and public education so women and families understand that their safety matters, their voices matter, and help is available. Also, please continue partnering with community resources that help people escape abuse, create safety plans, access counseling, and find legal support. When those services are visible and accessible, more people can reach out sooner before fear becomes trauma and before trauma becomes tragedy. Women should never be forced to choose between being seen as polite and staying alive and safe. Fort Worth has the opportunity to say, speaking up is strength, asking for help is strength, protecting yourself is strength. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Our next speaker is Kevin Carlson, followed by Ambika Sharma.
Good afternoon, Mayor Parker and Council. My name is Kevin Carlson. I am a homeowner within the community of Liberty Crossing in North Fort Worth, District 10. I'm supplying pics of the areas of concern today to Councilman Jameson and Mayor Parker. I request a rezoning of a parcel of land that will impact my community and property values. It's at the northwest corner of Heritage Trace and Blue Mound Road. The addresses are 9491 and 9261 Blue Mound Road. This parcel is a concern for safety, peace, and property values. Families should be allowed to live in peace. I'm requesting a zoning change from the current zoning to ER Neighborhood Commercial Restricted. This will provide the needs of our community while still offering commercial uses. Please refer to the pic of the construction ongoing to the south side of Heritage Trace. It illustrates the impact to homeowners' backyards. Please rezone the land described today. We need your help, and thank you so much.
Ambika Sharma, followed by Krista Irby.
Okay. Hi, good afternoon. My name is Ambika Sharma, and I'm a resident of District 6. I spoke before this body on June 9th as a representative of a group of residents concerned about data center incentives and their impact on Fort Worth taxpayers. We follow the guidance which we were provided by the city secretary's office regarding public comment procedures. Yet, instead of hearing 3 different expert perspectives on a bipartisan issue, the mayor immediately shifted the discussion toward limiting public participation. At the time, I thought surely this cannot just be about the $48,500 that Black Mountain collectively gave to this dais. But since then, I have learned more about the interest surrounding the issue. So slide 1. The husband of the mayor of the 10th largest city in America is David Parker, a registered lobbyist affiliated with the Data Center Coalition, the same organization advocating on behalf of the data center industry before governmental bodies across Texas. So this chart is based on his compensation filings made with the Texas Ethics Commission. Notice what happens after 2021. When David Parker's wife, Maddie Parker, gets elected as the mayor. Prior to 2021, Mr. Parker's reported lobbying compensation topped at about $1 million. In 2021, the year she's elected, he reported approximately 1.4 million on the high end. And in 2026, year to date, he has reported on the upper end of 1.8 million just in 5 months. So I'm not alleging wrongdoing. What I'm asking for is transparency, because when residents question billions of dollars in incentives benefiting an industry represented by organizations such as the Data Center Coalition, these relationships deserve scrutiny, not hostility toward residents who are questioning it. Slide 2. So let's talk about Google. I didn't get to that when I was presenting last time. According to the Tarrant Appraisal District, Google's White Settlement Warehouse was proposed to be approximately at $2.7 billion in valuation. So this is business property, BPP, business personal property, so just what's inside the warehouse, not the structure of the building. So these are not Google headquarters, as we know. It's not a manufacturing facility, it's just a warehouse. It's a storage unit. So at that valuation, Google could have been the largest taxpayers in our region. But instead, Fort Worth granted $2.1 billion in exemptions. That's approximately 78% in tax abatements. So I question, who is signing off on these abatements? This is a warehouse. This is a transitory business. What qualified them to get 78% in abatements? So as I leave today, I would like to ask this chamber for a brief moment of silence, not just for the death of ethics, but also for the death of fiscal responsibility in the city of Fort Worth.
Our next speaker is Krista Irby. Ms. Irby will be followed by Noor Wadi.
Good morning, council members. My name is Krista Irby. I live in District 3, and I'm one of the founders of the 2871 Community Coalition. I'm here to ask this council not to reduce, limit, or otherwise restrict the time and opportunity allotted to registered speakers. I'm not entirely certain what is being considered today, whether this is an agenda item to shorten the time each speaker is given, to limit how long council remains available to hear public comment, or to reduce the number of opportunities for residents to speak. I am opposed to all of it. This was on the agenda labeled consideration of reduction to registered speakers allotted time. It wasn't mentioned today. I don't know exactly why it wasn't acknowledged on there, but that's what this is in reference to. 3 minutes is already a very short period of time to coherently convey a position on a complex issue.
Krista, I'm going to make you pause. I'm going to pause your time and leave it back to you, but there's no consideration, no reduction of time today. This is a normal 3-minute public comment period. There was nothing considered on the agenda. I just wanted for that clarity. And so if there was a confusion on the agenda, I'm going to make sure City Secretary Office knows that. Just wanted you to know. Your time is continuing.
Okay. So my understanding is it could still be voted on in future meetings on whether time is limited. Is that correct?
That's correct, but there's been no discussion or plans to do so.
Okay.
Yes.
I just want to make my stance clear regarding that 3 minutes is already a very short period of time to coherently convey a position on a complex issue to your elected representatives. Many of the topics that come before this council, zoning decisions, development agreements, policy changes, are nuanced. Residents who care enough to show up, register to speak, and stand at this podium deserve enough time to actually be heard. Any reduction to that already limited window would be a disservice to the communities this council represents. I'd like to say something else. I voted to increase city council pay. I did that because I believe that when you ask people to serve the public in a meaningful way, you should compensate them for that time. I also voted that way because I want people from a broader range of economic backgrounds to be able to afford to run for office, so that Fort Worth has the strongest and most representative pool of candidates possible. Part of what this council is compensated for is sitting in this chamber and listening to the people you represent. Public comment is not a formality, it is the mechanism by which residents participate in their own government. Limiting that participation does not make this council more efficient, it makes it less accountable. I respectfully ask you to preserve the current speaker allotment, maintain full availability for public comment, and protect the public's ability to be heard. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Noor Wadi, followed by Michael Rollerson.
Good afternoon. My name is Noor Wadi. I'm an attorney and an organizer with the Faith Power Alliance. We're an organization committed to creating a better future for all through faith-based, justice-driven organizing. And I brought my 9-month pregnant self all the way down from McKinney because there's a really important issue that I want to talk to y'all today about, and it is about renewing the call and the demand for a data center moratorium. We are mistaken if we think a Fort Worth decision is not going to impact all of North Texas. I want my kids to grow up in the world where clean water is not more expensive per gallon than gas. There are real environmental and economic costs to our community, and we know that because you can ask a single one of these data center billionaires if they would move into a mega mansion next to their beloved data centers, and we know that the answer would be no. Because they know what the costs are, they know that the way that their greed is going to destroy our communities, and they're willing to let North Texas residents eat those costs. And unfortunately, so is the city council if they do not begin the process for a moratorium. The second reason that I'm here today to speak on this issue is I, as an attorney, served as part of the City of Dallas Ethics Advisory Commission several years ago, and I know how important it is to avoid even just the appearance of impropriety because of how much it can erode public trust in these offices. So then to discover that a city as large as Fort Worth does not have a permanent ethics commission, that we operate on an ad hoc basis, completely floored me. But learning that, it started to make sense, the way that corporate interests are being prioritized over resident well-being and resident outcry. And the fact that, unfortunately, the mayor has yet to recuse herself from any vote or discussion on this issue, given her financial and familial link to the Data Center Coalition. And I know that in recent interviews, it's been stated that the Parkers have never received a penny of compensation, but the Ethics Commission filing tells another story. The filing designates Mr. Parker under Comp 01, which means he made at least a penny, up to $22,889.99. So either the filing is lying, the Texas Ethics Commission is lying about what Comp 01 means, or it's time to bring together that ad hoc commission to take a look at this. Please, I urge you to minimize the ethical and economic and environmental harm that this data center plan is causing, and I urge the city to begin the process on a data center moratorium.
Michael Rawlson, followed by Lauren Ivy Cheong.
Last week, we had dozens of people come to City Council to speak their concerns in regards to the data center. Concerns such as water reservoir depletion, concerns such as rising energy costs, rising cost of water as well. And what did the City Council do in response to that? They denied previously agreed upon speaking times. They looked to shut us out even more. And it should be obvious to everyone why the City Council is doing that, considering they're taking thousands of dollars from Black Mountain. And I just want to say to any of the City Council members that want to posture themselves as being progressives in general or progressives on this issue, I see through that and we all see through that. If any of y'all can really think that y'all can posture yourself as a progressive when y'all are ignoring the fact that Maddie Parker's husband is a registered lobbyist for data centers, and even just like being part of a company that lobbies for data centers. Even if he doesn't take a penny of lobbying money, he's still a registered lobbyist for data centers, and he's a part of a company that is doing that. That should be immediately a red flag for everyone, and you shouldn't even be able to be mayor if you have a husband who is part of a company that is registered as a lobbyist organization. That's just ridiculous at this point. That is my speech, but I'm gonna continue to stand up here for the next minute and a half to make y'all think on that.
Lauren Chong will be followed by Steven Sanchez.
Good afternoon. My name is Lauren Ivy Chong, and I'm a resident of District 9. I would like to thank the City Council for the opportunity to speak on the importance of constituent meetings. I reached out to my City Council member, Elizabeth Beck, to request a constituent meeting and received the following response from her office. Thank you for reaching out. Unfortunately, Councilwoman Beck will not be able to meet with you. I understand this may be frustrating. Data centers are an important conversation. I want to reiterate that CW Beck is not only receiving information about data centers from city staff. She understands the seriousness of this council's decision related to data centers and is making sure she is well read on all aspects of the issue. Again, thank you for reaching out. Okay, the email says that data centers are an important conversation. When? 5 or 10 years from now? It'll be too late. No, the time is now. And with whom? High dollar donor? Data center developers and VIPs? No, your constituents. This goes for all members of the council. If you'd been willing to meet with me, Ms. Beck, we could have discussed my concerns about how the City Council is acting too hastily to enact regulations on data centers after a presentation from the Assistant City Manager as your main source of information. The last time this council voted after a presentation from the Assistant City Manager, it was to unanimously pass the purchase of a historic building to house the downtown library with a price tag of $6.5 million. Only later was the thorough assessment conducted, which deemed the building unusable as a downtown library. Fortunately, another wonderful use has been found for this building, and it's going to be repurposed as a community arts incubator. But the hard truth is that you didn't do your due diligence when it came to the purchase of that building, and now the same thing is going to happen with the data center regulations you are about to vote on in August. I would request the thorough assessment of data centers take place before the vote, not after. Respectfully, Ms. Beck, I'm glad you're well read on data centers. But 1,000 AI-powered Google searches can't equal the value of one meaningful conversation with your constituents. I hope all members of this council will put on your name tags and show up at the data center open house on June 30th to talk to your constituents. Something that I would have discussed in a constituent meeting had I been given one is the devastating environmental impact of data centers. Finally, this summer, I'd like you to read The Lorax by Dr. Seuss. It will tell you everything you need to know about how to deal with data centers. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Steven Sanchez, followed by Adrian Smith.
Let the record show that's 76.9 decibels at A weighting. Hello, Council. My name is Steven Sanchez, and again, I'm an audio engineer and forensic audio analyst. I hope you absorbed my last public comment on June 9th, but just in case you didn't, the basics is that this red line is how we hear pure tones in any given environment in an updated 2003 international standard. Next slide. And this blue line is based off an old 1930 standard that these SPL meters of the future still use today. Electronically, they are flawed using the old curves. In conclusion, this is that humans hear more low-frequency sound than previously measured. Next slide. Let the record show that's 91.7 decibels C weighting. Next slide. Please keep in mind that in these next examples, the mics and measurements are 250 to 300 feet from the proposed sites or already built data centers, the same length as the staff proposal and coincidentally, the Black Mountains zoning plans. All sounds are recorded low and boosted at the same uniform levels for playback. Skip to slide 19. So that's Lawn Stevenson. It's preserved, low ambient residential baseline. It's active, but it's quiet. In the essence of time, I will tell you that I recorded Royal Crest Drive, Weston Gardens, all examples of with data centers footprints that would have them there would be 78 to 80% below 50 dBA during the day. Slide 36, please. Slide 37. So this is Red Oak. It's an active data center footprint. You can hear the underlying drone, especially when turning down the moving birds and bugs in the second example. The constant floor is a differentiator from a quiet neighborhood I just showed you, and it's not even capturing the low-end hum you will experience with your physical body. Again, I have provided a short binaural recordings via this link, and you can listen to preferably on in-ear headphones. We should be measuring these sites with C or Z weighted curves, or better yet, we change to zones, which again measures true linear human loudness perception. A standard 3-day study is going to show you the same flawed numbers. To use dBA as a measurement to evaluate constant humming of low frequency material is not only irresponsible of this council after I've already told you why it's a bad idea, of what we can do instead. At this point, it's willful negligence.
Our next speaker is Adrian Smith, followed by Tonya Jones.
I would like to begin by saying thank you to the Fort Worth Star-Telegram for your most recent article showing the relationship our mayor has with data centers by way of our lobbyist husband, Mr. David Parker. That was very ballsy of you. Question is, will you still be considered a city's paper after that said article? Will you receive the funding that this city typically gives you on an annual basis? Thank you to Councilwoman Martinez for trying to improve the district you represent, irregardless of all the bad you inherited. That is commendable. I think you are truly trying to improve things, Ms. Martinez. I said keep going. I know some of these zoning cases can be, topsy-turvy, up and down, but keep going, Ms. Martinez. I think you're on the right path. Councilmember Crane, I truly see mayor in your future, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Council schedule. You have a schedule for a reason. And it doesn't include doing what you want to do just because. Meeting started at 11 a.m., Mayor Parker. We were told right at the top of the hour that you all were going into executive session, which was scheduled at 9 a.m. What happened with the 2 hours in between 9, 10, 11? What happened? Nobody knows. But in case you have forgotten, there are ways of removal. First, the self-inflicted way. You step down. Second is the recall, which is enacted by we the people, which we haven't done in this course of this city, recalled anyone as it relates to the seats that they occupy as it relates to for city council. Third, we vote you out. And again, that is enacted by we the people. So let's just keep that in mind. We have our options. Do better with your schedule. We all have things to do. But 11 a.m. is 11 a.m. All right? Thank you. The recognitions you all do here on a week in and week out basis, I know it's just some of these recognitions are to keep some of you in these seats. You're trying to line yourselves up for the next election. I get it. But again, we the people. We control who sits in those seats. Remote speaking, Mayor Parker, still waiting. Still waiting for you to restore remote speaking to this agenda. You know, you paid for a signing interpreter last week, but still stop short of what I've been asking for, remote speaking. And lastly, that sound y'all been hearing, them applause, it's a wave coming. Like the wave that happened in 2023, it's coming in 2027.
Our next speaker is Tonya Jones, followed by Deanna Bowles. Ms. Jones? Yeah, come to the middle. Thank you.
Chair.
that?
I'm gonna give
No
it
problem. That's be fine.
Jeff Pointer.
Good afternoon, everyone. How y'all doing? Thank y'all for having me. My name is Jeff Pointer. I am a descendant from Mosher Valley, District 5. I am here for a couple of reasons. Fort Worth, the city of Fort Worth annexed Mosher Valley in 1960. Since 1960, we really haven't seen anything. And this is nothing directly to the council people that's here. Y'all, that was before, or most of us was here, before I was here. But in that time, we've gave easements before that. Easements, road easements, electric easements. My family, Parker family, one of the founding families of Mosher Valley. There you see the park. Here is the park description of what we had got for the new park that's supposed to come. You see the trees and see everything. It's beautiful right there. We'll get to it in just a second. But going back to Mosher Valley, what we've seen since 1960 is really nothing. We have unpaved roads, unmaintained roads. We have still homes with septic. We have nothing, haven't seen really anything since we've been annexed. Nothing. We have a couple of paved roads just for the trucks to roll through. We have illegal dumping. We have a company that's dug a 100-foot hole, probably 30 acres, unrecognized by the city of Fort Worth. Unacceptable. To see that illegal dumping everywhere, no cleanup. And my great-grandmother and our forefathers, before Fort Worth was here, we were already there. We were there striving. You know, my forefathers are the ones that was giving out the land patents in North Texas, brought the railroad through. So we're wanting and asking the city to show Mosher Valley more respect, because we were when nothing was going on here, Mosher Valley was there thriving without anybody, any help. City of Fort Worth came to us, asked us for easements. Can we use the land? This guess what our forefathers did? Okay, sure, no problem. You need the electric. Okay, here we go. If everything is there, we're asking Fort Worth to pay more attention to the oldest freeman town in the country. Juneteenth was all over. Everybody celebrating Juneteenth. We had chaos in Mosher Valley, but we still prevailed and had a great time. But we need the city to stand up and be accountable for their forefathers, the people that was before y'all here, and respect Mosher Valley and give us the grants, the different things, the historical community and recognition. That's what we want. No, like I say, nothing against anyone.
Thank you.
I'll be back.
Our next speaker is Deanna Bowles. Yes, ma'am. Councilmember Peoples. Okay. Turn your light on, Deborah, if you don't mind. Let me try that again.
I just wanted to thank you and Mr. Pointer for coming today. You are absolutely right. Mosher Valley is a treasure that we need to work to preserve. And there is going to be a meeting tomorrow night, and I just went blank on the location, but we're going to be talking about Mosher Valley and making sure that we honor it, and a lot of work has been going on for many years. I am working hard to bring that to fruition. I think you all know my stand on zoning. I see some residents here that know I'm with you in the fight on zoning, but I am grateful to you all for coming today, because Mosher Valley is a jewel and a diamond in the rough, and we have to make sure that we keep it alive. So thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Michael Howell. Mr. Howell will be followed by Ellis Maxwell. Is Mr. Howell here? Oh, hi. It'll work. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Captain Michael Howell, retired U.S. Air Force. I'm here to speak on stewardship. Stewardship of this council. Y'all were voted in for a reason, because we trust you for our public safety and our public health. We cannot do it because I'm retired. I don't really get around a lot. I talk to my neighbors in Pascal, but the city has challenges ahead with the data center. My inkling is, my background is forensic auditing, building management information systems throughout the Southeast and with the U.S. Army and U.S. Air Force. So I probably have a pretty good idea of what the sense of the city council is. You're $70 million in the hole, 70 million according to the reports, and you see money on the horizon, but you're not looking at the whole picture. It's been reported the toxic cleanup at Carswell is under lawsuits because of the groundwater. Okay, what's going to happen with the data center groundwater and the toxics on the runoff? You're missing the whole point. The whole point of Fort Worth is we are different. I lived in Dallas, and I found heaven in Fort Worth. This city, this county is different. Hold the line, vote no with prejudice on the data centers. Take care of Mosier Valley. Take care of the people that built Fort Worth, not newcomers that look at the safety of Fort Worth to build a data center. I'm telling you, I've been around a lot longer than most people, and I have experience in budgeting. If you need help, I can help you. But you have to ask me. I've offered several times to help. For example, just off the top of my head, I was sitting, I can't see, but I can listen. There was a gentleman that stood up here and said,
Thank you, Mr. Howell.
okay.
Our next speaker is Ellis Maxwell, followed by Jeff Pointer.
Good afternoon. So I watched the June 2nd City Council work session on data centers and found it to be profoundly skewed in favor of the data center projects and in favor of big tech. So I wanted to share some critical feedback here. So there was one slide that I found particularly revealing, which was the slide on why data centers are coming to Texas. And so the first reason that was given was that we have a business-friendly environment here. Well, I don't think that we should strive for a business-friendly environment until we can first have a worker-friendly environment, a people-friendly environment, family-friendly environment, and an environmentally friendly state and city. And AI data centers do the opposite of this, putting more and more workers out of jobs, bringing rising energy costs and environmental and quality of life harms for all residents, but particularly those in poor Black and brown neighborhoods. So when we talk about a business-friendly environment, what I think about is FedEx in Echo Heights being prioritized over residents and their environmental and quality of life needs. And that's not the kind of city I want to live in. There was also mention of faster permitting timelines being one of the reasons that data centers are coming to Texas. And again, to me, this is not something to brag about. This means that city officials are giving less time for assessments of massive projects that have years and decades long impacts. And so to me, this is city staff bragging that they're not holding their end of the bargain. And then we also had on the same slide state incentives and exemptions. Again, not something to brag about. This cuts away at property tax revenue, which is the only real gain for the city that even the city staff, or the only real gain for the people that even city staff were able to point to during that presentation. Throughout the presentation, there were comparisons made between data centers and single-family homes when it comes to resources used. To me, this is a pretty bad comparison because it reduces people to the resources that we use and the revenue that we bring to the city, as if our job is to produce profit for the city. And we need to flip this. The job of the city is to support its people. Of course, residential homes use water and electricity. This is water and electricity used to meet human needs. This should be the whole purpose of why we come together at all as a society, is to meet our needs. Hyperscale AI data centers do not meet our needs. I can see how they benefit. AI data centers benefit the super rich. I've yet to see an argument for how they benefit everyday people, and I would like to see city officials stand up for this. Thank you.
Mr. Pointer,
Okay.
followed by Brian Patman.
Okay, I'm back. Jeff Pointer, descendant from Mojo Valley, District 5. I am speaking today on behalf of descendants, property owners, and members of Mojo Valley Property Owners Association. For the past year, I have requested public records information regarding land ownership, easement, school property, sheriff sales, annexation, auctions, and other matters affecting Mojo Valley. Many of these requests remain unanswered or incomplete. Mojo Valley is not just vacant land. It's a historic community built by families whose roots here go back generations. Many ancestors acquired, maintained, transferred property long before the city forth expanded into the area. The land was conveyed with restrictive covenants to be utilized for educational purposes only, not a park, which we don't oppose the park, but the educational purpose, that's what we're speaking of. There are specific tracts of land available, parkland. There is one tract of land that's secured ground due to historical significance. Evidence continues to emerge showing historical landmarks, family ownership, areas interest, easements, land transactions involving Mojo Valley properties. The records raise serious questions that deserve transparent review before additional development decisions are made. We emphasize that descendants and heirs retain the right to investigate documents and pursue claims regarding property interests that may not have been properly addressed through previous transactions, tax auctions, sheriff sales, easements, and governmental actions. With further emphasis that the community has the right to organize through Mojo Valley Property Owners Association to identify heirs, preserve historic records, protect community interests, and participate in decisions affecting the future of Mojo Valley. For the record, we are requesting full transparency regarding all city-owned land, easements, and claim interests within Mojo Valley. A complete accounting and property acquired through taxes, foreclosures, sheriff sales, dedication, donations, or other governmental actions. Review of the historic school properties and any visionary interests that may exist. More engagement with descendants, heirs, community stakeholders before the development occurs. Reconditioning of Mojo Valley Property Owners Association, recognizing the Mojo Valley Property Owners Association as a legitimate community stakeholder. We are not asking for special treatment. We are just asking for transparency, accountability, historic accuracy, the respect of the rights of the families who built the community. On two occasions, the judge of 52nd 352 District Court implied to the city of Fort Worth to speak with community.
Thank you, Mr. Pointer.
Engaged.
Our next speaker is Brian Patman, followed by E.J. Carrion.
Down Anglin Drive, right off of 820's neighborhood, is not a luxury resort, but the home of working people struggling to keep a roof over their head and food on their tables. There are a few industrial suppliers and parking at big rigs interspersed between the stands of trees and the rural residential homes along this route. People live a simple life, but it is a life. That is until you pass the last home, and only about 100 feet from where that house ends, a massive electrical station takes over the horizon, at least 2,000 feet long along the roadside. If this station were not there, you might also be able to see the southeast landfill in the distance, only about half a mile away, a dumping ground for city trash. Only after you make this journey will you come to Weston Gardens, a place that was initially created in the 1930s and boasts a stone ship and extensive collections of native plants. The quiet majesty of this place in an age with smartphones and AI cannot be understated. This is the neighborhood Black Mountain wants to put their new hyperscale data center in, practically on top of the historic gardens. And do not mistake the absence of these residents of this community today as indifference to this data center. When one of our number went to canvass the local neighborhood, they informed us that most residents did not know what a data center even was, or that one was coming their way. The few that did know said they tried to reach out to their councilman, but he's not easy to get a hold of. Not easy to get a hold of. It's also a great privilege that I and many more of our number are able to be with you here today. It is difficult for someone who might work for a particularly irascible job to take time off to attend a meeting in the middle of the day without losing that job and risking everything. The data center is further shadowed by recent reporting showing troubling ties between a lobbyist for Data Center Coalition and a certain Fort Worth city leader. Maybe not close enough to need to disclose, but more than close enough to discuss those of us sick and tired of seeing corporate money being used to divert public policy away from the interests of the public. At this point, you might call me a Luddite. Say that these data centers are necessary for progress. And to that I ask, progress for who exactly? Is it progress for the worker who has their work fed into AI until they are laid off? Is it progress for the resident who can see the lights of the data center shine in their windows at night and hear the electrical hum? Is it progress for the taxpayer who need to pay more and more of the coming years just to keep water flowing from their taps? Is it progress for the family living hand to mouth who sees their electricity bill go up to do those same data centers in their community? Is it progress for the community who sees their vibrant set of gardens that used to be surrounded by green, now surrounded by beige, humming boxes? The rise of AI and the data centers of power seem to be in industries that prioritize the benefit of billionaires and businesses over the people that live in these communities. And progress and no care for people is no progress at all.
Our next speaker is E.J. Carrion, followed by Carlos Silva. Is Mr. Carrion present? Carlos Silva will be followed by Conley Brewer.
Mayor Parker, you had a proclamation at the beginning of this meeting celebrating America's 250th anniversary, so I just want to remind this city government what it is we're celebrating. Please pay close attention to these words, as they are not my own. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for a people to dissolve the political bonds which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which they are entitled, a decent respect to the opinions of humanity requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all people are created equal, that they are endowed with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among people, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter it or to abolish it, and to institute a new government, laying its foundations in such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and their happiness. Prudence will dictate that government should not be changed for light and transient causes. Accordingly, experience shows us that people are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms of government to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and injustices exposes a design to oppress the people of this city, it is our right, it is our duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for our future security. Such has been the patient suffering of this city, and such is now the necessity which constrains us to alter our current systems of government. The history of the present mayor and the city council is a history of repeated injuries and injustices, all having as their direct objective the establishment of an absolute supremacy of corporate interests over the needs of ordinary people. As proof, you need only listen to the people that come talk to you on these city council meetings. In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for relief. Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. A mayor and city council whose character is marked by every act which may define a tyranny is unfit to be the government of a free people. I read you these words of our founders for a reason. To the members of this government that do not serve the needs and will of the people of this city, we will vote you out. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Conley Brewer, followed by Alexander Montalvo.
Mayor and council members, good afternoon. My name is Conley Brewer. I'm a resident of District 6, and I'm here today because I'm increasingly concerned about the direction we are taking when it comes to public participation in local government. Over the past week, we've seen a series of changes to the rules governing public comment. New procedural steps have been added, and speakers are now required to categorize their comments in advance for, against, or neutral on the topic they are addressing. On the surface, that may seem like an administrative detail, but in practice, it changes the very nature of public comment, from open expression into pre-filtered participation. It asks residents to label their voice before they're even heard. I understand the need for orderly meetings. I understand the need for structure, but structure should not come at the expense of accessibility or authentic dialogue between residents and their representatives. What I find particularly ironic is evidence today that members of this council are able to participate in meetings remotely when necessary. Technology and flexibility are available when they support government participation and continuity. Yet the average resident is still expected to rearrange work schedules, family obligations, and caregiving responsibilities to appear in person at City Hall, often waiting for extended periods for a brief opportunity to speak. Many Fort Worth residents work long hours. Some are raising children. Others are caring for aging parents or family members with medical needs. Their ability to participate should not depend on how easily they can conform to procedural requirements. And all of this is occurring at a time when public trust is already under strain. Recently, a substantial increase in council compensation was approved and will be funded by taxpayers. Whether residents supported or opposed that decision, it reinforces a basic principle. When public compensation increases, public accountability should increase with it, not decrease. The question before us should not be how to further categorize or restrict public input. The question should be how to make participation more accessible, more direct, and more meaningful. Public comment is not a formality to be managed. It is one of a few district direct channels residents can have to speak to the people making decisions that affect their taxes, their neighborhoods, their infrastructure, and their quality of life. A healthy democracy does not ask citizens to pre-label their voice before it is heard. It listens first, and it evaluates substance afterwards. This council is serious about strengthening public trust, then the answer is not fewer barriers to participation. It is fewer barriers full stop. The people of Fort Worth are paying attention, and they want a government that listens openly, responds directly, and remains accountable to the people it serves. I hope this council chooses openness over restriction and engagement over procedural filtering. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Alexander Montalvo, followed by Bob Willoughby.
All right, I'm here to continue to call for a data center moratorium. Y'all have had thousands of emails sent to y'all. You've had community members reach out to you directly. You've had people participate in public comments. And you've had people continue to call for this online, that we want a data center moratorium. Now, I know regulations are going to be voted on in August, but my question is, when are we going to get the update that a moratorium is being pursued? And we know the limitation is going to be for 90 days. That's fine. We can do it again after that. The data centers that are being built in communities across this country are not something that are safe for us and the people, and we need y'all to take this much more seriously. Instead, what I see is Michael getting online and complaining about how people are mean at public comments. He just wants to he wants to talk to his neighbors about their trees and the leaves that fall in their yard, and let's talk one-on-one about solving issues. What we're here to talk about is how people are harmed and how people are dying in this city, in this county, because of decisions of leaders like we have before us. You had 3 people die in the Tarrant County Jail just last week. You have numerous families being impacted by what's happening, the TEA takeover for Worth ISD, as tenure, I won't use the word tenure, but educators with long experience, decades of experience, principals opting to leave this district because of what they see that's happening. And how's that going to hurt kids? We have leaders over and over in Fort Worth that do not show care for the people. And while y'all go on break for the month of July, it's important for y'all to know that the people will not stop. That we will continue organizing, we will continue communicating, we will continue building what is going to be needed so that we have leadership and representation that is actually going to do the will of the people. We have a bunch of excuses about the relationships that people have, like you, Mayor, and your husband, the lobbyist, or why we don't have an ethics policy, or why zoning continues to be permitted that causes such pollution and harm to our communities. And what we're saying is we're done with the excuses, and change is going to be coming.
Our next speaker is Bob Willoughby. Mr. Willoughby will be followed by Elena Montalvo.
First thing I want people to know, I don't come there and talk to you, because you can talk to a wall, you can yell at a wall, you can be nice to a wall, but the wall's not going to answer. You are a wall. I wish people would understand that. Move this comment from the bottom of the agenda to the top of the agenda, and these people would have leverage. They'd have a lot of leverage over your mayor. They come there and say this stuff in front of people waiting for zoning cases. They hear, they get exposed to what you're doing. They don't get to go away, see it. But down here, we're in the basement. Nobody sees you, and you don't care. Nevertheless, let me see how much time I got here. Okay, number one thing is what I've learned over the years, the real answer, you can't vote you out of office. You're placed in office, just like Deborah Peoples was placed in office with a rigged election. Jamie, you're all placed in office. No, when you don't do your civic duty and less than 4% is voting, you can manipulate everything and you can do everything. If we get up to 10 or 12% voting, it'd be different. But at 4%, you can manipulate, and that's true. That's why we need voter education in school. We need voter education in school to teach the next generation to do their civic duty. Deborah Peoples never did. Is an obligation, not a privilege. To see the signs when a mayor removes free speech from the council meeting agenda that should send up a flag across the city. It don't. That should be enough to know that a mayor is no good and should be removed from office immediately. It's not. Let's teach it in school. The next generation will be smart enough to stand up and do something about this. In 21, you should have been removed. But you weren't. You're still there. You rob from us left and right, and you're still there. When the mayor votes to give a police chief $5.5 million tax money, you got it anyway, without giving the citizens an explanation, she should be moved. Why do people think they can talk and negotiate with someone like you? I don't understand that. That's why we need voter education. If these people knew that they put this on top, that would make a difference. That should be a signal. We cannot trust this mayor, and first thing is to remove the mayor as soon as possible before she can do more damage to the city. Too late. Data centers are coming. See, back when we moved here in 21, you wouldn't be having this problem. But no one stood up to you when you took away our right to speak, did they? Okay, well, to get voter education in schools is going to require our legislature, Nicole Collar, to help us and other ones like that. I don't know if they will or not. And the people. That's the main thing. Because when they learn that they're not talking to a wall, you can get something done. But you are a wall. You too, Chris. You won't come out and speak. Not one. I'll tell you, in voter education, here's how you can tell you got bad council members. When not one of them will step out that door and confront me on camera. Not one of them will. Then you know you got good people. Otherwise, you're talking to a wall. Don't you understand that? You're wasting your breath and your time. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Elena Montalvo.
Hello, my name is Elena Montalvo. I currently attend Texas State University, where I am pursuing a degree in education. Before attending Texas State, I began building my educator toolbox through a student program called Taffy and in my role as a teaching fellow at Breakthrough Fort Worth. So, as someone who is a big advocate for public education, it was disheartening to hear about the Fort Worth ISD takeover, a district I graduated from. The takeover made me realize that I needed to start paying attention, not just to what is happening in Fort Worth ISD, but throughout the city. The decisions made here at City Council have a direct impact on students across the city. I am here to strongly urge this council to put a data center moratorium in place. Last week, a large number of community members made it very clear to this council of the concerns they had for the development of this AI data center. Community members also made it clear that you as our leaders do not have adequate knowledge around how this AI data center will affect our city. And instead of listening and taking accountability, you escalate situations. You stop paying attention, you remove people, and threaten to shut down the meeting. Not one council member on this dais stood up for any of us who were here that day. This inadequate leadership exists here. It exists at the Commissioner's Court, and it exists at the Fort Worth ISD School Board. Actually, just the other week, the Fort Worth ISD superintendent kept requesting the community to give him and the Board of Managers grace. I keep hearing similar phrases from leaders: give us grace, have sympathy, have patience. These self-serving and self-centered requests ignore the urgency and direct impacts that are happening to community members across this city. People are dying in our jail system. ICE is kidnapping people at Sundance Square. Fort Worth ISD is falling apart, and now AI data centers are eroding our environments. This harm is at the hands of our leaders. Whether you are inflicting it, enabling it, or ignoring it, you are contributing to the harm that is infecting our city. So, thank you, Council, for helping not just me, but Fort Worth as a whole realize that we need new leadership, and it's time to vote all of you out come May.
Council, that's the conclusion of our speakers this afternoon. Meeting is adjourned.